dark-skinned men are still viewed as desirable and like sexy because it's kind of like hypersexualized, hypermasculine. So if you are like a hypermasculine gay guy, then you will definitely be,
Snapped up.
getting yours 100%. But I feel like because I am so feminine, it's something that almost becomes quite niche. I either become the drag queen or the sister, like the friend, or like the confidant, the agony aunt, like all those kind of things I think people attribute towards femininity.
I don't want to ruffle no feathers, but unpopular opinion, in my opinion, more DL men are attracted to feminine men than openly gay men are. Yeah. Yeah, this is just what I've experienced as an openly gay man. Don't fight me. But I feel like more DL men are more accepting or understanding or just they just like gay feminine men than openly gay men do. Because what I've experienced, like I've had to tell openly gay men like I'm feminine and it'll just cut off from there. Or it'll just like it won't go anywhere. But then also I've seen so much on the internet like openly gay feminine men will look down upon other gay feminine men, but then they themselves will be feminine, And it's just kind of like crazy. But that's just my opinion. I feel like more DL men, like they like gay feminine men, but they're not out of the closet. But they can be homophobic, but they still will like that. It's crazy.
Feminine gay men go through a lot when it comes to their existence, whether it's from the outside world, even people within the LGBTQ plus community. Some gay men who express femininity might face stereotypes or discrimination, which can be tough. They might also feel pressure to conform to traditional masculinity in certain environments. And don't get me started when it comes to dating. Some feminine gay men might struggle with being accepted for who they are, which can create challenges in dating or friendships. They might encounter partners who appreciate their femininity, but also face those who might not fully accept it. But on the flip side, embracing femininity can also be empowering and liberating. Being true to themselves can lead to more genuine and fulfilling connections with people who appreciate them for who they are. It's all about finding the right people who embrace that authenticity. But let's unpack this and talk more about it. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Doc Dante, and I'm back at it again with another video. As you guys can see by the title today, we are talking about feminine men, and I really want to talk about the downsides of being a feminine man. Now, before we get into everything, first I want to say thank you guys so much for getting me to 17,000 subscribers. I thought I had verbally thanked y'all, but I don't think I did it. So I'm just taking this time out to thank you guys so much. We are on the way to 20K subscribers, and I'm just super I'm overwhelmed with joy and love. That you guys continue to show me on here. Thank you guys for giving me the platform to not only voice my personal opinions, but to also hear from you guys as well. Because sometimes when it comes to my content, sometimes y'all may not agree with me, but that's what I love about it because we can always come together and we can have our differences, but still respect each other. So I appreciate you guys so much. I love y'all, and I'm gonna continue to put content out like this. But I feel like I do want to ask you guys for help because I sit down and I brainstorm a lot about what I want to talk about on this channel. And sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I'll be having writer's block. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. So it'll be beautiful if I could sometimes have you guys DM me ideas or leave your ideas in the comment section. Like anything would help. I'm good for the rest of the couple of months because what I do is I brainstorm a lot of ideas that I just want to talk about. Sometimes they don't even have anything to do with gay stuff, but I'll jot them down on my notebook or whatever, and literally I have ideas that's gonna last me up for the next at least 3 months. Now, when it comes to feminine men, I feel like there's two different types, right? Now, the first type of a feminine gay man is a gay man who is masculine presenting, but his energy is very feminine. So you ever hear that saying when like a gay guy get turned off when they meet a guy or they see a guy or whatever that's masculine presenting, but once the guy open his mouth, he's like he's feminine. He got like a very high pitched voice, and he's very flamboyant or whatever. So that's the first type. The second type is a feminine gay man who really lives in their femininity. So they wear the makeup to express themselves. They wear nails sometimes. They wear their hair. Some of those gay men who are feminine could sometimes label themselves as non-binary because that's probably just a way of expressing themselves, and they may not express themselves in a feminine light all the time. So yeah, those are my two different types. If y'all feel like there's more types, let me know. But those are my two types. Now, to get to the point, I do want to get into I want to get into the downsides of being a feminine man in terms of being gay. And the 4 things I came up with is being less desirable, being fetishized slash objectified, being more desired by down low bisexual slash gay men, and dealing with stereotypes, right? The first thing we are going to talk about today is being less desired, right? Now, it's not a secret. We all know, even feminine guys know, that masculine men are top tier in terms of dating, in terms of like, the men that we like. The reason why I feel like masculine men are up here and feminine guys are down here is based off of how most of us was brought up. Most of us was brought up in a heteronormative world. So when it comes to the guys we like, not saying that we kind of go off of what we saw, but we damn near went off what we saw. Like, when it comes to masculinity or whatever, that's what we were, well, most of us were attracted to growing up. Now, for me, I'm from the projects. Well, that's nothing new. I tell you that all the time, but I'm from the hood. So I come from a background where I grew up around a lot of masculine dudes. So of course, when I was around it, I started to get attracted to it. So I was around them all the time. And I knew when I got to a certain age to date, I was gonna go for that type. Like, cause I love masculine dudes. Like, they just do something to me. It wasn't until I was starting to get older, you guys, and I was actually starting to find myself being attracted to feminine men. I don't know if that just comes with you aging, so you become wiser about certain things, but it was just certain things about a feminine man that I love so much. Like, not only are they like themselves and they're free, but I felt safe because I was also a feminine man. It's kind of hard to explain as to like what, like the transition of like how my mind changed over time. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, like I just love the element of a feminine man. Like, I don't care if you wear nails, hair, like as long as you're happy and you expressing yourself and you make me happy and you meet my needs, we're good. But of course, a lot of gay men don't feel that way, right? It's always that saying of some ignorant gay people when they be like, "Oh well, if I date a feminine man or whatever, I might as well just date a girl." And let's just stop. Can y'all please stop saying the ignorant saying? I think I addressed that on my channel before, but y'all, that's like one of the most ignorant things to say. And the reason why I feel that way is because genuinely, damn well you're not gonna date a girl. Now, that's my take when it comes to feminine men being less desirable. I just feel like it just comes from a lot of gay men, just how we were brought up or whatever. And, our natural attraction is masculine men. Now, it's one thing that I kind of want to touch bases on that I feel like I have to talk about in a separate video, but it's gay men, attracting the guys that they don't want. So for instance, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of feminine gay men out there that really are into masculine men, but unfortunately, in like the way the gay dating world like works and operates, it's really hard to find that because a lot of gay men like to date guys who look exactly like them. Like, let's just be honest here. And a lot of feminine gay men or whatever don't really want another feminine gay man. Like, that's another conversation for another day, child. Ooh, something in my eye. Now, the second thing I want to touch bases on when it comes to the downsides of being a feminine gay man is being fetishized. Fetishization is the reduction of a person to aspects of their body, identity, or relationship structure. A person is found to be attractive solely due to their characteristics and could be exchanged with anyone else with the same characteristics. Fetishization pre-meets the queer community existing for and within it. This results in a variety of impacts, all of which are ultimately harmful to some degree. When it comes to being fetishized, everybody has experiences, y'all. Like, not only just gay people, right? Everybody experiences before. Well, anybody can experience being fetishized, especially when you are somebody who's trying to date with intention. It's very nerve wracking when you're trying to date these men, and a lot of them are more intrigued into your look more than to you as a person. And sometimes, me personally, I just feel like that just stems from a person fetishizing over you. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up because I have a gay friend that's very feminine, and he go by pronouns he or him. But sometimes he likes to dibble and dabble into wearing wigs and really, being into like his feminine self. And he always tell me stories about how he be trying to date these guys, but a lot of them be just like it's like they try to use him as like a fetish or whatever. Like, yeah, if anybody who watch porn, y'all know like sometimes when it comes to a feminine man that's on point or whatever, a lot of them probably wear like skirts or they probably wear like fishnets and shit like that or whatever, just for I guess just to spice it up. And sometimes I feel like that steals from fetish, like you being fetishized as well. Like, why can't I be in my natural element with you? Like, why I have to put on makeup and put on a wig and dress up like a girl just so I can, satisfy you in terms of like, I guess your fantasy, whatever the case may be. Hopefully I'm making sense, y'all, because I'm kind of yapping, but I understand what I'm saying, but hopefully y'all understand what I'm trying to say. Especially feminine gay men who are feminine presenting. I feel like a lot of them go through being fetishized. Even trans women. Trans women also has came out and expressed how they feel like they've been fetishized as well when it comes to trying to date. So, that's that. Now, the other thing I want to touch bases on is being more desired by down low gay / bisexual men. Now, I'm pretty sure there are openly gay men who are also into feminine guys or whatever, but I feel like it's really heavy on the down low side, in my personal opinion. And the reason why I feel that way is because a lot of these down low men are bisexual. Now that's opinionated. You got some folks that feel like it's more gay, not down low dudes, than bisexual. Me personally, just based off the dudes that I've dealt with in like the experience, all of them either had a sexual interest when it comes to women or whatever, or they had a baby mama or whatever the case may be. So I feel like it's more bisexual down low dudes than But yeah, that's another conversation. Anyway, back to my point. With these feminine guys, sometimes they settle for a down low guy because that's like the main person that's showing interest. So when they find a dude, and not only is he a guy, but he like his energy, his aura is feminine. Like his energy is feminine, his appearance is feminine. It turns some of them on. Unfortunately, with dating a down low dude, you damn near gonna be like y'all gonna be low key with every damn thing. And although I personally feel like every gay person can experience this, because I'm pretty sure a lot of gay men, even masculine gay men, have experienced being a down low man's secret. Not saying all of y'all have, but I don't know if you guys watch the show P Valley, but P Valley did a really great job with showcasing this. Characters Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford were secret lovers when they first met. Lil Murda was an underground rapper who happened to be gay, quote unquote down low, and Uncle Clifford was a non-binary who went by pronouns she and her. Although they had great physical chemistry with each other and eventually fell for each other, at some point Clifford had to cut Lil Murda off. Clifford was hurt and left Lil Murda because he publicly snubbed her in front of a record producer, essentially relegating her to the shadows. So yes, I feel like just that whole incident, I feel like a lot of gay feminine men could vouch for that scene, because it's like, you just kept as a secret. But not all feminine gay men even go for down low dudes, but I just had to bring that in because I feel like it was great to talk about. Let's get deeper into stereotypes. Some common stereotypes of feminine gay men include the idea that they are overly dramatic, obsessed with fashion, or that they are not interested in sports or traditionally masculine activities. There's also a stereotype that they are more emotional or sensitive than their masculine counterparts. These stereotypes can be harmful because they reduce individuals to simplistic traits and don't reflect the diversity within the gay community. Many feminine gay men may not fit these stereotypes at all. It's important to recognize and challenge these assumptions to promote a more inclusive understanding of gender expression. So, when it comes to stereotypes, I feel like a lot of gay men could vouch for this. It doesn't even really have to fit the criteria of being a feminine gay man, but just to kind of give my take when it comes to stereotypes or whatever. Not only do I feel like a lot of us gay men are stereotyped as, being extra or being over dramatic, I feel like a lot of TV shows and the shit we see on TV when it comes to gay men having a role on TV, that's all you really see. Like, that's the main thing that's popularized. Now, I will say, in terms of, us being more visible now, I feel like they've done a really good job with kind of showcasing us in different lights, because people who don't live our life, or people who are not gay or that's straight or whatever, they don't live in our world, they kind of go off of what they see. So a lot of the times when you have people that's not really too fond of a gay person, a lot of them just assume off of what they see. So like I said, like the whole character of a gay man being dramatic, or you may be watching Love Hip Hop and you see Saucy Santana quote unquote being messy, stuff like that. Like, just because you see one person doing that, that gay person or that feminine gay person or that trans person doesn't represent everybody, because we all come in different shapes, different sizes, we all come from different backgrounds. So, I feel like representation in TV plays a major role in stereotypes. The shit we see on TikTok, people doing like little skits and stuff. Like, that's not always us, That's not always us. I feel like that's my take when it comes to the downsides of being a feminine man. If you feel like I missed out on anything, please let me know. I do want to take this last segment of the video to react to two videos, and this basically two feminine men who are just expressing their lives when it comes to just being a feminine man. Maybe they may go into detail about their dating lives or whatever the case may be. I haven't watched the videos yet, but yeah, I'm gonna watch the videos and I'm gonna give y'all my commentary. So let's start with the first one.
So it's just something I was thinking about. So you know how I always feel like the reason why it is so hard, well, not so hard, but like, let me just say so hard to like date or be in a relationship as a feminine gay man is because a lot of men, or a lot of black men, let me just say, are afraid of femininity. You know, and I feel like it's, you know, it ends up summing up to like, you know, how they grew up, or you know how, like, for an example, you know, when your mom or your dad will like, you know, will like tell you, you know, boys don't cry, you know, girls do this, or boys do not play with dolls, or you know, just things like that. I feel like it ends up being you know, just living with you, and that's how I feel like a lot of people are just, they feel like dating a feminine gay man is like too much, or just like, you know, I've even heard people say I would rather date a girl than date a, I'm like
didn't I just say that though, y'all? And I feel like that's like the most ignorant thing to say, but let's keep listening to him.
it's just ridiculous to me, honestly. But I mean, to each its own, you know, people have their own opinions. But yeah, I always feel that because being and not even just gay dating, even just with men in general, like even how, you know, now at a time like this where women are like, you know, taking over things, it intimidates a lot of men. Men are just, they just do not like femininity because they feel like, oh my god, it's like something that's, you know, less, you know, not even less valuable. It's just not, you know, it's like not all that. But at the end of the day, it's just, I feel like being feminine is very powerful. Very, very powerful. Very powerful. And it's just, I don't know, it's just something I realized. And not, you know, not to just say that people, I pull niggas, you know? I definitely do. You know, even being this fat feminine. But I just feel like it's kind of challenging. And then even, you know, the ones who like feminine, you know, gay men are like DL niggas. And then with them, you know, it's the same thing. Like, they love it, but like they don't want to be seen with it outside, or they just don't want to, you know, it's a lot. But I mean, hopefully there's change, and hopefully people just realize that it's okay to love who, you know, you want to love, or just in general be who you are, because life is too short. Life is too short, and you gotta enjoy your life. Nobody else is, especially if no one's is paying your bills, nobody else, you know, should be, you know. But anyway, we live in a world where people are just so mean and bad, and they can affect other people. But anyway, you know, yeah. So in conclusion, just if you're feminine and you ever feel like, oh my god, people, you know, because sometimes you can feel like that. We're all human beings. We have insecurities, and sometimes we feel like because of who we are, we're not, you know, we're not loved, but we are. But yeah, I look so good, and I just wanted to like talk to y'all. But yeah, sending you love, lots of love, and kisses. I'm so weird. Oh my god. But yeah.
Marky, you got some beautiful ass skin. Okay, so everything that Marky said, that literally is what I said in my, like what I just said, literally. Like, you know, I feel like a lot of feminine guys, they attract a lot of more download dudes. And like he said, he get dudes, like he pull dudes. It's just still kind of like hard to date. And I'm not making this video to make it seem like feminine guys don't get their play, because of course they get their play. I'm not saying that. But I'm, you know, I'm just going off of what I hear from my gay friends and just people who I see like this on TikTok all the time, just expressing their lives as a feminine gay man. Now we're gonna watch another one and I'm gonna wrap this up, okay, you guys? Let's do it.
As a feminine gay man, you are inherently not attractive to a lot of other gay men, but that doesn't say anything about you. It doesn't mean that you are undesirable. It just means that they are not attracted to you, and that's not even necessarily a bad thing. A lot of gay men are very attracted to overt masculinity, and they're aroused by the idea of themselves being hypermasculine and their partner being hypermasculine, which of course there's nothing wrong with, but it does have this undertone of straight guy bromance fantasy, which really isn't something you're supposed to base a relationship on, a fantasy. All this really means is that being feminine, you have a different dating pool than the typical masculine gay man. And I put typical in quotes because most of these hyper masculine gay men are just as feminine as me, but suppress their femininity because of internalized homophobia and internalized misogyny. Because they think that it makes them less desirable, and they think the only desirable thing about them is the fact that they are masculine. Living as your true self attracts people who are also living as their true selves, and it repels people who are not living as their true selves, which very much can manifest as if them not being attracted to you because they're not aligned with the energy of you living your truth. As a feminine guy, I actually find myself attracted to a lot of other feminine guys because we understand each other in a really meaningful, profound way, and we understand that femininity and masculinity are not mutually exclusive. So if I was with a feminine guy and he saw my more masculine side, it wouldn't be like a shock because he would understand that I'm not just feminine, I'm a fully rounded person just like everybody else. There's also just some guys who are not attracted to femininity, which is fine. You know, nobody's like saying that you have to be attracted to feminine guys. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that people can't help who they're attracted to, but sometimes we're attracted to people because it fulfills a dysfunctional idea that society has instilled in us about being homosexual. So if you're feminine and you're gay and you're like, damn, nobody wants me, that's not true. People are just envious of the fact that you're living your truth and not compatible with your light.
That makes sense. Okay, so I felt like he did a really good job with also expressing that too. And I loved how both of these feminine gay men didn't come online and be hostile about it. Because one thing that I don't like and I hate when I see feminine gay men get online and complain about how gay men are just attracted to masculine men, or they always bring up this whole mass for mass thing. And although I hate the whole mass for mass thing, like I just hate the wording of it. You can't really get mad off what a person like. You only can get mad when a person is disrespecting you as a person, or your character or things of that sort. But I feel like nobody should ever get mad based off of what a person likes. What a person like is what a person like. Because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of feminine guys who like masculine dudes and vice versa. So that's just that. But what I will say though is that any feminine gay man that's watching this video, continue to be your damn self and don't change your appearance. Don't change the way you live your life for no damn body. I don't give a fuck who it is. You got to live for you. Like I tell everybody, go where you celebrate it. So only date the guys that want to date you. People always ask me how I was able to, date or whatever. And I always say, always date the men who want you. Don't date the guys that you want. Always go for the guys who want you. And that's just how I feel about it. Now, I don't know if you guys ever watched this show, but it's called For the Boys. And I feel like this show really showcases gay men in a really great light. Of course, they show you like the things they go through in terms of their dating lives. But the reason why I'm bringing this show up is because one of the characters, I'm so mad I can't think of his name right now, but he's a feminine gay man. And it literally shows you like the process of him having to like come to terms of being feminine and like, his dating life when it comes to being feminine or whatever. And I love his energy throughout the show because he's very optimistic about everything and very like, vibrant in terms of like, his aura and things of that sort, whatever. So I'll put the description down below if you haven't watched that show yet. It's free on YouTube. They only got one season out. I don't know when the hell they come out with a second season. If one of the producers happen to see this, if you know somebody that's connected with this show, please give me a role. I would love to. I don't even care if I'm a love interest or something on the show. I would love to be somewhere in this show because like it's so dope for the community, and I feel like this show needs to be out like on like major platforms because it's a really great story. The storyline is really beautiful. I love everything about it. And all of the men on there are very handsome too. So, we just love that. I love you guys. And I will see you guys for another video. Bye.